All right, here's some more. So first things first, we have to get rid of that plus 3. So let's subtract 3. So now we have a negative 6 absolute value of 9x plus 5 is less than, and that's going to be a negative 30. So now we have to divide by a negative 6, ding, 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 and divide by negative 6, so that's going to be greater than, and this is 9x plus 5, and that's going to be a positive. 30 divided by 6 is going to be a 5. So now we have greater than, so what means we have an or, so we have a 9x plus 5 is going to be less than a negative 5, or 9x plus 5 is going to be greater than 5. So now we just have to solve it. So subtract 5. And so we get 9x is less than a negative 10. Divide by 9. X is less than a negative 10 ninths. Now see, these fractions aren't going to be bad because we don't have to do any math with them. We get a number and then we plug it into on the graph, and then we write out our interval notation. So even getting fractions is not a bad idea or a bad problem here. So now we do minus 5 here, minus 5 here. So 9x is greater than, well, that's going to be 0. So divide by 9, and so x is going to be greater than 0. So we have our negative 10 ninths here. We have our 0 here. We have open circle going that way. And here we have open circle going that way. And so it's going to go from negative infinity to negative 10 ninths, parenthesis, union, 0 to positive infinity. Okay? And so that's how that one's going to work. What about the next one? Well, looks like we subtract 4. It's going to be kind of the same process as this one, except we have greater than instead of less than, so no biggie. Now what do we do? Well, that's going to give us a negative 6 absolute value of 9x plus 4, and then we get greater than, and that's going to be a minus 18. All right, well, now we divide by a negative 6. Ding, ding, ding again. Divide by negative 6, so that's going to be less than now. And we get 9x plus 4, and that's going to be negative divided by negative is positive. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Okay. Now with this one, we get a tripartite, so that's going to give us 9x plus 4 less than 3, but greater than a negative 3. Okay. So let's subtract 4. So that's going to be a negative 7 less than 9x less than minus 4 plus 3 is going to be a minus 1. Divide by 9. And so negative 7 ninths is less than x is less than negative 1 ninth. And so if we draw that on our number line, negative 1 ninth will be here, negative 7 ninths will be here. So x is going to be greater than that one, but it's going to be less than this one. And they both have open circles because they're strictly, less than as they would look there. And so we're going to go from parenthesis negative 7 ninths up to a negative 1 ninth. And both of them, again, parentheses, because we have those open circles. All right, what about this one? Okay, well, first it looks like we have to subtract 2, not divide by 2, subtract 2 from both sides. So that gives us a negative 3 absolute value of 8x minus 2, and that's going to be greater than, and now that's going to be a negative 15. So now we divide by a negative 3. And so absolute value of 8x minus 2 is going to be ding, 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 ding. We have to switch that one too. And that's going to be a positive 5. All right, so this is going to give us a tripartite because it's less than. And so we'll have a negative 5 less than 8x minus 2 less than a positive 5. Now we just follow the rest of the rules we've been doing. So we'll add 2 to all 3 parts. So now we have a negative 3 less than 8x less than 7. Divide by our 8. And so negative 3 over 8 less than x less than 7 over 8. So drawing our number line, here we have our 7/8. And here we have a negative 3/8. And so x is going to be greater than this one, but less than this one. and not include either one of them. So then we get negative 3/8, comma 7/8. Okay. And again, parentheses because of our open circles. All right, how about here? So now it looks like we subtract 2. And so we have negative 8, absolute value of 3x minus 2, less than, now that's a negative 32. Now we're going to divide by negative 8. Ding, 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 ding. I think we're getting a lot of practice with making sure we know how to divide by negatives here. And so divide by negative 8. And so now absolute value of 3x minus 2 is greater than, and that's going to be a positive 4. Okay, so greater than means we're going to get an or, so we're going to get a 3x minus 2 is going to be less than negative 4, or 3x minus 2 is going to be greater than 4. So add 2 to both sides. 3x is less than a negative 2. Divide by 3. X is less than a negative 2/3, it looks like. Or now we have to add 2. Now if 3x is greater than 6, divide by 3. X is going to be greater than a positive 2. So putting on our number line, here we have a 2. Here we have a negative 2/3. So it's going to be less than that, open circle to the left, greater than 2, open circle to the right. And so we're going to include both of them because we have the or, so it's going to be that, or both. So we're going to have from negative infinity up to that negative 2/3 union. Now we're going to go from 2 to positive infinity. Okay. All right, let's stop there.